Hello everyone, this is a bit of an unusual video. I normally talk about fragrances, but today I'm talking about a kind of a related topic, and that is the question, do I smell bad and not even know about it? And I know it sounds kind of strange, but I do often pass people out and about in life in general, you know, out at the shops, at work, wherever. Oftentimes I pass people and sometimes they have an unpleasant smell, and it's not necessarily the obvious, you know, not that they haven't showered in days or they have really bad BO. Sometimes it's some simple things, simple lapses in a grooming routine or even a laundry routine that just kind of mess things up a little bit, and you can give off an off smell and not even necessarily be aware of it. So I thought I would just cover some things that I notice out and about in life, but also occasionally I make mistakes myself and don't always smell as great as I would like to. So let's get going with this weird conversation. The first thing is the smell of unwashed hair, and this kind of like the smell of the scalp that does emanate in warmth from people's heads, and it's not something that necessarily everyone is aware of. And I smell that a lot when I'm out and about and I pass people, you know, I'm walking in the aisles of a shop and I just get this whiff of scalp, and it's pretty nauseating actually. And oftentimes it's just this sort of like unwashed hair, and it doesn't even have to be that you haven't washed your hair in 2 weeks. It may well be that you just happen to give off quite a strong scent even after just a few days. Not everyone can wash their hair every day. I certainly can't. This hair is dry, it's textured, it doesn't want to be washed all the time. That just dries it out and damages it. So if you can't wash your hair as often as you'd like, there are some really great products, some dry shampoos and hair mists as well that can really help to slightly rid the smell and also cover it up, because the smell isn't very nice. It's okay I find it's an okay smell on my loved ones. So I actually really enjoy smelling my boyfriend's head. I quite enjoy that smell of his skin. It's almost like the smell of your skin but amplified. But I don't really want to smell that on anyone else. You know, I don't want to smell anyone else's skin. It's kind of like the smell of if you didn't wash your pillow for a couple of weeks and then you buried your nose in your pillow, you're going to get that scent. And I get that from people, and everyone has a slightly different scent, and I get that from people round and about in life in general, and they could be well dressed, they don't smell of BO or anything, they don't seem to be lacking in hygiene, but it's just that they haven't perhaps washed their hair for a few days, which is not a bad thing, and I'm not shaming anyone for not washing their hair. I only wash my hair every 2 or 3 days, sometimes even longer. But I am conscious of the smell if I leave it too long, and then I will use a dry shampoo or a scented hair mist. You can get really great scented hair mists from designer companies. Mugler do some really great ones with the alien and the angel smell. You've got high-end ones, Maison Francis Kurkdjian. You can get a Baccarat Rouge one if you want to be really bougie. Frederic Malle do them, but you can also get cheap ones that aren't that expensive at all. But either way, just something to be conscious of. There are products that can help to just eliminate the chances of that smell coming out and being slightly nauseating for other people. And of course, we always want to feel that we smell and look good, or, you know, our best as we can. So hair is definitely number one. Number two, clothes. Obviously, you want to be washing clothes that sit close to your skin every time you wear them, ideally. You might get away with a little bit less than that if you are someone who doesn't really sweat or give off any kind of smells. Then you can probably get away with wearing closer clothes a little bit more often without washing them. But when it comes to washing your clothes, and this is something I really do smell a lot. I remember working with someone who must have just had a problem with his laundry routine. It was a single guy living on his own. I think he was a computer IT person, you know, a bit geeky. No offense to anyone geeky. Geeky's great. I don't think he realised that he gave off this mouldy smell. And sometimes I don't do my washing and drying of clothes correctly, and it happens to me. But I pick it up straight away and then have to wash the clothes again. So what happens is, if you wash your clothes, if you leave them in the washer for too long before getting them out to dry, they start to get this mouldy smell, which is really, really unpleasant and quite strong. Another thing that can happen is you could take them out to dry, but if you don't spread them out properly and dry them properly, if they get a bit crumpled and maybe two items stuck together, then they don't dry properly and they can give off that smell again. So it's a very simple thing, and some people seem to be anosmic to it, because, as I say, this chap always smelt the same way for, you know, a period of months that I knew him, that he would come into the office, always smelt really bad. So it's just a case of making sure you're doing your laundry properly, and that's really it. It doesn't matter about whether you use a softener or not. Just make sure that you dry the clothes properly and you take them straight out the washing machine, and you are then not going to have to worry about your clothes giving off this awful mouldy, like stagnant water kind of scent, and it's pretty gross. And it doesn't mean you're unhygienic, but people will sense and think that you are, because they can smell this smell coming from you. It's really a tip if you suffer with body odor at all, and most people do, you know, especially if it gets really hot. I would say I'm not a big sweater. I'm not someone that really I don't need to use deodorant in the colder weather. I can go without it. But in the summer, if I'm laying in the sun all day, then I shower in the morning, I can use deodorant, but by the end of the day there will be a bit of a smell from my underarm, just a little bit. And if you do get a little bit of scent from the underarm, it's perfectly natural, no shame. But a great thing to do is to make sure that you keep the hair there very minimal. So if you're used to just shaving it anyway, then that's fine, just keep on top of it. But if say you're a fella and you feel like shaving your underarms is not what fellas do, you can always just trim it, get one of those trimming things, the machines, and just trim it short, because the hairs trap bacteria, and that's what can give off some of the smell. Also, make sure you're using a deodorant, not a body spray. Back when I was a teenager, everyone just used to spray body spray under their arms, boys and girls, and that does not stop you from sweating, and it does not stop you from smelling. So if you have an antiperspirant deodorant, then that's going to do both jobs. If you're just spraying a body spray, all you're going to do is, as you heat up and start to sweat, you're just going to give off a scent of BO meshed with the cheap body spray that you've sprayed. So definitely use a proper deodorant and it will make a difference. Another thing is showering. Yes, it's kind of like basic, but I think if you are in a warm environment, or if it's the summer, if you're here in the UK or somewhere else, not more seasonal, then in the summer, if you're going to be out in the hot weather, you really do need to shower twice a day. Shower before you go out in the day, so put your deodorant on, and then you are less likely to start smelling during the day. And then at the end of the day, before you get on with your evening activities, whatever they may be, just another shower to freshen up, and then you can use a light, fresh scent if you like. A lovely Atelier cologne would be fantastic. Something citrusy and natural smelling is perfect for hot evenings. A couple of other things. Feet. We all know feet can smell. Sometimes you get so used to an old pair of shoes that you just don't realise that it's soaked in some of your sweat, and it can smell. So do check your shoes. You can wash some shoes in the washing machine. I wear Skechers a lot, and you can just chuck those through the washing machine. It's brilliant. So definitely do check out make sure your shoes are not giving off a bad smell. You might be able to change the insole if that's a problem. Wearing socks with your shoes will minimize the chance of making your shoes smell or your feet smell. I remember years ago as a kid, a young teenager, and I had these high heels, and I think they were probably plastic, and I thought they were fantastic. And I went shopping with my friend, and as I took them off to change in the changing room to try something on, the stench of my feet was absolutely disgusting. So if you're wearing sort of synthetic plastic shoes, no socks, it is always going to smell, and it's such an unpleasant thing for other people to smell cheesy feet. It's just not a good thing. And one last thing you might not consider or think about is if you use fake tan. And fake tan, as it develops on your skin, will always give off this biscuity like scent. Doesn't matter if the brand tell you there is no biscuit like scent, it will. As it develops on your skin, it will give off a biscuit like scent. That's the only way fake tan works. As it develops, it smells. And so you need to be aware of that. Even those gradual tanners, I had some Saint-Tropez gradual tanner, it was supposed to not smell. It does. Not immediately, it smells great when you put it on, but as soon as it starts to develop, you get that smell. So if you're going out, if you have a special occasion, you want a little bit of colour on your skin, then you really need to do any self-tan the night before, the day before. If you prefer, you can do it overnight, apply it before bed. If you don't want your partner to have to endure the smell, then do it during the day when you're not going to see too many people. But a mistake that I've seen happen quite often, I've smelt happen, and I've even done it myself, is putting fake tan on the night you actually go out. Because yeah, I'll tell you a story. Myself and a group of girlfriends, we all got spray tan together. One of my friends did the spray tanning. That was her little side job. So we all went round to get a spray tan. And we weren't supposed to be going out. We were going to have a few drinks at my friend's house. But someone had the great idea that we all go out. So all of us had got a spray tan, so head to toe, covered in self-tan, about 5 girls. And trust me, the waft around us of this bloody biscuity fake tan was shocking. It was absolutely horrendous. And yeah, so I would highly recommend that you avoid using fake tan on the day or night that you're actually going out for an occasion that you care about, how you smell. Because even if you're wearing perfume, the smell of the fake tan is that strong, people will still be able to smell it. I think that's everything. Sorry that it's a weird video. I hope it was in some way useful. Let me know if you have any tips and tricks of keeping bad smells at bay, smelling good, all of that stuff. So that is it then, and I will see you in another video.